This just in, Tyrell is back.
Dude, he's back?
Yeah, dude, he's back.
No way.
He is back for sure. He's back with a new video on this day.
What? Oh, dude, I'm so glad he's back. I'm so glad he's back, dude.
What's up, guys? I'm back. The news channel was telling the truth. But today I'm going to be telling my craziest childhood stories, as you can see in the name of the video. And I used to be a little as a child, so I have quite a few stories of just me being crazy. I guess, yeah, I guess that's the right word. But yeah, so I'm gonna tell you a few of them. I hope you enjoy it, so let's just get right into it. Okay, so the first story takes place about when I was like 5 or 6 or 7, around that area. And it involves my dog. I got him when I was 4, so he was probably about like 3 at the time. So because he was 3, he was rowdy at the time, like a puppy, so he was like all hyper and stuff. So this was during the winter time, and I was like building a snowman or something in the front yard. And as I was building this snowman, my dog runs up to me and starts like playing with me. So I like play with him back, you know, like just messing around. And then he bites my freaking pants and drags me. So I'm in the front yard and he drags me all the way around the back, down the hill, because like our backyard had a hill. So he dragged me all the way down the hill and all the way, and he dragged my pants and underwear off. So I was naked in the snow and he was just dragging me around the whole entire backyard. And it was a mess. I was bawling. And so so as I was bawling with my pants down to my ankles, I was crying, I was naked, I ran up the deck because we had a deck. So I ran up the deck and knocked on the door and I was like bawling. And yeah, it was a bad time. I was naked, I was cold, and I was just bawling with my pants on my ankles, crying because my dog dragged me around the yard naked in the winter time. The next story takes place at Disneyland, the happiest place in the world. But in this story, it wasn't the happiest place in the world for an old lady because I ruined her day. So basically, I was probably around 7 at this time, and this whole entire Disneyland trip I was whining and complaining the whole time, and I probably annoyed everyone. But this particular day, I was with my cousin and we were about to leave, and we walked past the gift shop and my cousin was like, "Ooh, I want a candy apple, blah, blah, blah." So her mom got her the candy apple because she was being good, and I was like, "Mom, I want a candy apple." And my mom was like, "No, you're being a brat, so you don't get a candy apple." And so my 7-year-old self was not accepting that. So I was like, "No, I get this caramel apple. She got the caramel apple, so I get the caramel apple too." But no, my mom was like, "No, you're not being good, so you do not get the caramel apple." And I started freaking out in the middle of Disneyland. Everyone was watching and it was just a mess. And I was freaking out the whole entire way home, and on like the train thing or whatever that you ride to the hotel or wherever you're going, an old lady, she was like,
"Your child has ruined my day."
So my mom got so upset, she started crying, all because of me being a brat at Disneyland. And I ruined an old lady's day. This next story takes place when I was about 4 or 5, and we were at the store. And I was the same little brat child. So we were in the checkout line, and there was this older lady in front of us. She was way too old to be what I thought she was. She was a bit bigger, and I was like, and I like said this out loud. I said this like so everyone could hear it, and I was like, "Mom, she's got a baby bump. Is she pregnant?" And the lady looked over and gave my mom like this death glare, like,
"This is how you raised your child?"
So I said out loud in the checkout line to an old lady, "Are you pregnant?" It was bad. My next story is when I was about 6 years old, and it takes place at the same house that my dog dragged me around naked in the snow. So in the basement there was a treadmill, and I was like, I just walked down there and I was like, "Oh, I could so run that treadmill, like I could so do that." So I got on the treadmill and I just was running on it for a while, and I was like, you know what, I can go faster. This is too slow for me. So I turned it up and it kept running, and then I turned it up to level 6, I think. So when it was level 6, I was like running, and then I fell on the treadmill. So I like rolled off, and I had this huge red mark like all over my face. It was bad. I was like crying and blah blah blah. And then I went upstairs and my mom was like, "What's on your face?" I didn't want to get in trouble for running on the treadmill, so I was like, I drew on myself. I told her that I drew on myself just with a red marker. So she's like, okay. And she got me in the tub to like erase the marker stuff, and it didn't come off. And she was like, it's not washing off. And then I like told the truth, said that I ran on the treadmill at level 6 and fell on my face. Crap, I freaking forgot the last story. Oh, okay, I remember, okay. So I was about like 11 during this time, and we just went out camping. It was like Easter weekend or something, and my brother was like 2 years old. He was 2 years old at the time, I was 11, and they asked me to go get some firewood because we were the only ones there, like my family were the only ones there. So my family was like, go get some firewood. So me and my brother went on the four-wheeler to go get some firewood. And so we like drove out a few ways where we found some good wood, and I like put it on there, and then we drove to a different place. And when I got off, my brother was still on, and I forgot to put it in neutral, so it was still in drive. And you can assume what happened next. I'm picking up the wood, and then all of a sudden I hear like, and my brother is going like full speed. He has it all the way, and he's not stopping, and he's just like running on the four-wheeler. He's like 2 at this time, and I was like, crap. So I start chasing after him. Everyone starts chasing after him behind me, and we were screaming like, ah. And there was like a tree there, and he was like about to run into this tree. 100 yards before the tree probably, he hit a sagebrush and fell off, and then his like lip was bleeding, his nose was bleeding, everything was bleeding, and it was bad. All because I forgot to put it in neutral. Well, those are all my crazy childhood stories for today. I hope you enjoyed, I hope you laughed, I hope you giggled, I hope you did a lot of stuff. I was a crazy little brat child, and I have some more childhood stories, so maybe I'll make a part 2 sometime in the future and tell more of them if you guys enjoyed it. So if you did enjoy it, make sure to give it a thumbs up and comment if you want me to make a part 2, and I will see you next Thursday. And someone's making a comeback probably.
Yeah.
So see you next Thursday. Peace!